Today is January 11th. We are definitely late to the whole New Year's thing, but we're going to do it anyway. Uh, I thought it'd be a cool idea to just start this episode as kind of a time capsule for 2027 us. So next year in January, we can look back and kind of see where we were at. So yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Just a real quick like recap, or not recap, but a real quick time capsule of where our heads are at. Uh, are you ready?
Yeah, but you have to go first because I don't totally get it. So I want to see an example.
Okay. Well, I don't really know either, but okay. So right now, I am. I've had a good year in terms of art. So I've started a lot of things. I got a lot of things going. So I kind of launched my YouTube channel and all of that. Uh, Talked about that a lot. But I am at I think 15,000 subscribers, which is awesome. I just had two videos do pretty well. The I've been world building for 1 year and world building sketchbook tour. So both of those are like 55,000 views or 50,000 views, something like that. And I'm about to start working on my first printed thing for figure eight. So my zine or my little paperback printed thing. I've just started putting the drawings together and everything, but I'm excited to do that. I also want to print a sketchbook this year. I think I have like 5 patrons on my Patreon. That's something I want to kind of focus on in the next year. So if anybody's listening, go sign up for my Patreon and uh, help me reach my goal. I think I want to have 50 by the end of the year. I think that would
So
make me very happy.
10x.
That's what I wrote down.
Okay.
Yeah. And let's see, anything else? Mostly this year, I just want to.
I mean,
Well, we talked
I
about
want to talk
goals.
about goals like kind of as its own thing because I have
Yeah, yeah.
some thoughts there.
Um, yeah. Okay. So when I'm looking back, the headspace is I feel like I'm at the beginning. Like I just started making a tiny bit of money on YouTube. I like,
Hmm.
like $20 a month from Patreon. Just like these tiny little beginnings, and it's kind of exciting. But I have no idea what the next year is going to look like. So okay,
Yeah.
that's me.
Okay. So message to me in 1 year. So right now I'm in the final stages of a really hard push to hit my deadlifting goal of 500 pounds. I have my attempt date is in like 5 weeks, so next month on my birthday. So I've really been grinding on that. I've put on a lot of weight. I'm the strongest I've ever been. So those two things together are like interesting on their own. Um, so last year, I think, in a sense, I think I'm maybe a year behind you, or at least that's what I'm hoping. Where I'm hoping that next year is the year of the beginning parts, like what you're seeing, where you're making a little bit of money and you're getting some success on YouTube, and you're kind of taking your art and putting it out there for real, and starting
Yeah.
to generate interest and build up your audience and everything. So I'm not really there. I maybe had like very small starts of that with the blog and things like that, but nothing really around my art or my thing. So next
Yeah.
year that's where I'm wanting to be. But I am I'm very proud of myself. I feel very accomplished in the sense that I set out to learn a lot and uh become capable and educated in these certain areas of this type of design and software, these systems, this peer-to-peer technology and all that. And I feel like I'm there. I genuinely feel like this last year was when I really kind of started to develop a real sense of confidence. Whereas before that, I would say, yeah, I'm a software developer. I know how to do some stuff, but I would always feel a little bit out of my depth if I'm talking to somebody who's, a real engineer or whatever that means. Now I don't really feel that way. I feel like I have a lot of confidence now. I've seen it happen at work. I've seen it happen just in friends of mine who are also software developers, and just like my ability to write and share that with the world and things like that. Like I'm starting to feel like I know what I'm talking about. And my goal or the journey that I set out on a few years ago of, hey, forget all this stuff that I already know, that I'm already comfortable with. I knew how to write an iPhone app using Xcode, using Swift UI. I threw all of that out and said, I don't want anything to do with the stuff I already know. Like, fresh start, much more difficult path. And I've been walking that. And like now I feel like it worked. Like I have genuinely learned and developed myself to the point where I feel confident. So that's amazing. But I think that's maybe a parallel to you in past years where you set out to become a really good artist and you just kind of put your head down and studied and worked on it. And now you're kind of in the phase of let's get it out to the world. So next year is the get it out to the world year for me. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm at right now. I feel really good, but there's a really, really vital next step, which is to start getting things out into the world. So that's what next year is going to be focused on. Also, just as a comment to future me, it is January 11th, and I am right in the middle of the pit of winter, and it's dark all the time, and it's just a little bit tough, and it's worth just appreciating that I'm not going to feel good all the time. Sometimes, but not always. It's not that bad, but it's not that great either. So just, you know, extend some grace to yourself and don't forget to take your vitamin D. I did a bad job of that this year, and I think it mattered. So
Well, same here. Yeah. December, January have been rough, and sometimes it's hard to know if it's the season or the life or what. But for whatever reason, yeah,
right,
I feel like if I don't start managing my stress better, I'm gonna be dead at like 45. I don't like I gotta. So that's a big one
yeah.
for me too.
Good to figure that out now though, than in 45
And at 44, yeah,
or 45, and you're like, oh shit, I'm dead. Too
yeah.
late.
Well, this will be an interesting podcast if that happens at
Yeah,
45. Uh,
yeah,
anyway, shall we get into goals? I guess.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I've been thinking about that a lot this week and today. I did some, did some pen and papering and trying to,
Okay.
you know,
I got mine written down. I'm trying to bring them up. Okay, since I went first on the time capsule, why don't you go ahead with your goals?
Okay. Well, in broad strokes, it is more or less what I just said, right? Like for me, I want it to be the year of getting things out the door, of actually connecting with people and trying to put things in front of them and say, "Here's what I'm working on, and I hope that you like it," and that sort of stuff. So that's going to be um, the main focus. Like if the year has a theme, but in terms of specific goals, I was trying to be specific. So I have my 500-pound deadlift attempt coming up on February 26th of next month. So that'll either make me really happy or really depressed, or it'll just kill me. So that's happening. I really want to shift after that into picking up the running again. Pretty much everything has fallen by the wayside except for the lifting because it's so demanding. So I want to start running again. I think I want to try and get a 25-minute 5K by the end of the year, which is not super ambitious, but I've also never actually done it. And I think it's reasonable. What?
Okay, well, it might be easier for me to just interrupt you as you go. But
Yeah.
so my gym one is not to lift 500 pounds as a deadlift, but to just get more comfortable going to the gym alone. Because this past year is the first year I've ever actually had a gym membership and worked out with people.
Mm-hmm.
I've always just had my own home gym. So this has been quite a change. And I haven't actually gone there by myself because I'm terrified of doing that, which is really stupid. But so that's one thing this year is just to get used to going to the gym alone. And as far as running, like I haven't been keeping up with running. So I just want to, I used to run a lot, but now I don't. I want to just be able to run a 5K without stopping again. Because it's
Great.
like
Great.
it's been so long I haven't, yeah.
Can I give you some advice on going to the gym part?
Yeah.
I've been to lots of public gyms. I'm very used to it. But one thing that just an observation that I have, I went to the gym when I was on a cruise a few months ago. Like the cruise ship has a gym and it's not,
Yeah.
whatever, it's there. And I went a couple times and there was one day where there was just a lot of people. a bunch of dudes, and no one was mean to me. No one was like, "Hey, you suck. I'm stronger than you." So that didn't happen. But it you could just feel exactly what it is that makes a lot of people not want to go to public gyms. It's just so much of this like broy teenagery energy of just ugh. Like people do that like only upward nod that only ever happens between dudes at a gym where it's like I'm like I hate all that. You guys are stupid. It was so gross. And part of me is thinking, I know I don't look like all of you because you all are bodybuilders, but I guarantee I'm stronger than you, which I know is a stupid thing to be thinking, but just feeling the grossness of it just was like, you guys suck. But also, I spent a lot of time at a real powerlifting gym where world class lifters went. I mean, people who were so strong that it just doesn't make sense. I mean, setting world records type of strong. And all of them were the nicest people you will ever meet. Like if it doesn't, if you could be day one at the gym lifting 80 pounds, but if that's a record for you, they're screaming at you like it is the coolest thing that's ever happened. Like that's what actual real strong people are like. And so anyone who isn't like that is a noob. Like just
Okay,
you don't need
well,
to pay
I'm a
attention to
noob.
them. Well,
I'm a noob, and what's the advice here? The advice is just work out with world-class bodybuilders
no, the
because they're
advice is
nicer?
like if what will happen if you go to a public gym is that no one will care about you at all. That's what will really happen. No one
Well,
cares.
I've gone a few.
Right.
I've been going, but yeah.
But you're resistant to going because there is a little bit of this mental thing of like, ugh, there's people around and they kind of see me or whatever. So one, no one's going to care. But even if they did, like if you actually do encounter that gross broy energy, understand that though like real lifters think they're idiots. Like those people are teenagers and they're dumb. So I don't know if that helps or not, but just
I don't think
real
it really
lifters,
helps me, but
real
I'm
people who are really into it, like they're cool people.
okay. Well, that makes me
Anyway,
feel good about them, but all right.
maybe it's
Mike's
not
gym
helpful.
rant is over.
Okay. Sorry, I
What's your
thought
next
maybe that
goal?
would land better. My next goal, release an interesting piece of software. I think what this means is I did release a small app last year. Whatever, great, that was the goal. But
Which the food
the
logger
nutrition app, yeah.
thing?
But this year I want to release something. I don't exactly know what it will be in particular. I think it's going to be the audiobook reader type of thing or whatever, but the goal is to release something that is unique to the world, at least to some degree, where I can say, "Hey, I'm putting this out there, this app, no matter how basic the app is, but it does something that nothing else does." And that's what I need to do this year. It won't be, it most likely will not be like the full dream of everything I want, but it'll at least be some slice of that. Where it won't just be like, hey, there's another nutrition app, throw it on the pile. It's like, here's something that is new. That's what I want to do this year. So,
Okay, that's an exciting one.
yeah. You wanna weave in some of yours again?
Yeah, I guess. Okay. Oh, one thing I want to do this year, and I put this into my calendar. Well, I've started using a calendar a bit more, which is turns out it's really helpful.
Interesting.
I guess that's why everyone else around me uses the calendar. But
I don't.
I put it in. I put it in my calendar every month to remind me to review all of these. So every month I just want to pop these up and read through
Yep.
them. And I have a giant list, and I just put the relevant ones on here, but because those were probably a little too boring. But anyway, I'm going to try to review them monthly. I want to read at least 5 books cover to cover, which seems like a really small number, but I don't even think I did that this
Yeah.
year. I probably did, but I'm just at least 5 books cover to cover. I don't know. I think
Fiction books, technical
we all want
books.
to. I did
Any
not even specify. I didn't specify, but physical books.
Okay,
I have a stack of like 20 books that I've bought in the last 3 months that I haven't read. So
great,
yeah,
fantastic.
just read 5 of those. Um, the okay, so one of my biggest problems this year was social media, full on addiction.
Hmm.
So I have taken some drastic steps to mitigate that.
How drastic
I
are we
even
talking?
I ordered a second phone that they tried to deliver and then they couldn't successfully deliver it, so they sent it back to Apple, and now I don't have that phone. So my plans for that have been thwarted, but that I plan on getting a second phone. I think it was you that suggested it actually, but basically keeping all social media because you need it to post on social media, whatever.
Hmm.
All social media on one phone, and then all the boring, non-addictive stuff on the phone you actually use. I'm very excited about that. I could talk about that for a long time, but um, I don't know how interesting that actually is. But basically,
It's
the
not
one with all
interesting
the
at all, but
addictive
it's
stuff.
also what we always talk about. So, whatever.
Well, I'm very excited about that. So when I get the second phone, I will put all the addictive stuff on it. It'll be on my
Hmm.
crappy phone, and probably just leave it off in a locked box or something to where like I
Yeah.
can't lift it up. I can't take it with me. And I won't need to or want to because I'll have my other phone. And basically there's zero social media on the phone I carry with me. So if I'm out and about, like there is no checking YouTube stats or YouTube Studio or whatever. There's
Hmm.
nothing I can check. Can't look at Instagram or whatever. So yeah.
Were you the one who told me this? This might have been our cousin Ryan, but Simone Gertz, I think is her name. Have you heard of her?
Nope.
She she was shitty robots for a while, like made ridiculous stuff, but she started inventing kind of real things. Anyway, I think
I
she
know
was the
who.
one who
Yeah.
did the calendar where you have some goal
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
every day lights up. Okay, that person. So she has a new product and it's some kind of plant thing where the plant either it only gets light or only gets water or something if your phone is in it. So if you have your phone out for too long, the plant dies. I
That's
don't
cool.
I don't know if that like fits your use case exactly, but I thought it was a pretty fun thing.
I love it. I think we should up the stakes, like put a cat in there or something. Or
No.
yourself, like you die if you
Right. Or like cuts a finger off or something maybe.
I like that. Yeah, that's really no, I hadn't seen that, but I loved it. Was it a calendar? It
Hmm.
was like yeah, it was just a button for each day of the year that
Yeah, it
you
was like
you
a calendar that
turn
was
on
all
or
on one big board. I think each month was kind of this
it was
script all the way
beautiful.
down. Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah,
And you had to if you had a goal of whatever, meditating every day, you would push the button to light up the light. And if you missed a day, fine, but just that light never gets lit. You just see it all the time. It's beautiful. I love that entire way of thinking. So
yeah.
you could take a look at that. I don't know if it's released yet or not, but you should see.
Okay, well, I love that idea.
Yeah.
Okay, another goal from you.
I want to do minimum 12 blog posts this next year. Yeah, that's not the most ambitious thing in the world, but I just want to stick with it. I didn't
So,
actually
like,
do one a month this year. I got kind of close, but not quite. So minimum one a month.
well, I'm trying to do one post on Patreon a month.
Okay.
So that's pretty similar. So 12 Patreon posts this year. So yell at me about Patreon every time you do the blog.
Okay. I mean, my
But
goal is
that's
just
cool.
I have to do a January blog post, and it is due before January is over. So pretty straightforward.
Like, that's cool. Uh, next, give me another one.
Uh, I want to make some amount of money, more than zero
Some.
dollars,
Okay.
via some alternative avenue. Technically, I made a few $100s last year off of the blog, but it was only the one
A
post.
few hundred.
Yeah, like
Was it
300, something like that.
was it through affiliate links and stuff?
Yeah, but I
Okay.
only had one blog post that really made any sense to have affiliate links on.
Yeah.
So, I'm not gonna write about new shoes or something just to like. I'm not doing click farming. I want to write about what I care about, and nothing else has made any
Right.
sense to put a link to. So, I don't think that's much of an avenue. but I want to just by the end of the year have something, you know.
Okay, I like that.
That's a goal.
I want to. I already said this, but I want to print my zine, and I want to print my sketchbook. So, like a
Both.
book. I don't know how ambitious it's gonna be. It might just be, but something a step up from a zine. So,
But are you hard committing to that next year? Like if you do not have a printed sketchbook by the end of the
and,
year, you are a
and the
failure.
cat dies.
And the cat
Uh,
dies.
uh, I don't know. I mean, I wrote it down. I think that it's possible. I'm not gonna shoot myself if I don't get it, or like if I don't finish it. But I think it's possible to
Well,
do.
okay. And that's fine. But I just
Don't
want to
list it if you're
be
not gonna.
well, no. Actually, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like if that's the kind of goal, if it's an aspirational thing of I want to try to get the sketchbook done by the end of the year, then that's fine. But just make that clear. Say my goal is to attempt to get it done. And if that's too lame sounding, then do the blood oath and
Fuck
kill
it.
the
Blood
cat. What?
oath. I'm going to print the sketchbook this year by the end of the
Okay.
year.
And
I must have a printed sketchbook in my
okay.
hands
And you mean
by
this? Like I'm not trying to
December.
pressure you into it. You
No,
pick
it
whatever
needs
you
to
want.
happen.
Okay.
It
Okay.
needs to happen. It's a blood oath. I'll,
Okay.
uh, yeah.
Like if it is
So
December 30th and it's not done, you are up. You don't have to kill yourself, but you you can't go to sleep. Like you have to get it done, okay?
I'm writing it down real
All right.
big.
All right. I
It's
don't like
2026, right?
yeah,
There.
I think so.
Sketchbook
Okay,
2026.
it's
Real
mirrored for us, but
big.
it's fine. We get it.
Okay.
Sketchbook. And I imagine that is the big goal for the year, right? I mean, that's a big deal.
Yeah. And it needs to be, actually. Yeah. No, it's a scary one to 100% commit to, but I think that's what it needs to be because I'm already committing to the zine, and then it shouldn't be that. Okay, I don't want to jinx myself there. It will
Let's
be.
okay.
It will be
Just
very difficult, but what?
can we I don't want I've been kind of thinking about this a lot.
Okay, I'll listen.
If we put out a goal and then don't do it, which is what all of us do. That's just like the tradition for January 1st is to make up some insane bullshit goals and then forget about them in a month, right? That's the thing.
Hmm.
But that sucks. That's depressing. I don't care I don't care how mild the goal is. If you said I want to draw one picture this year, fine. Pick whatever you want. But it's so sad. It just undercuts yourself as a person when you put out a goal and just don't accomplish it. It sucks. So like be as conservative as you want. Like don't say you're going to do the sketchbook if you really aren't sure if you can do the sketchbook. Like one, you don't want to be killing yourself by the end of the year, but two, it's just going to feel so bad. Either you'll feel very bad that you didn't accomplish the goal, or it's like, goals don't really matter. I said it, but who cares? That's so I hate that. And I mean, I'm guilty of that, right? Like that's just I hate that about myself. So whatever we put out here, it's got to be real. Even I mean, it could happen where we don't accomplish it, right? But we just have to at least mean it and take it very seriously. That's the one rule I have for all of this.
I like it. You've managed to make it sound very intense. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So I still am saying I'm going to print the sketchbook by the end of the year.
Okay.
I'm leaving it quite open on the level of quality and the level
Totally
of
fine.
print and whatever.
Absolutely.
If I print it from my own printer,
Fine. Fine.
whatever.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I gotta have okay. The next goal is make both the zine and sketchbook available for sale online.
Well, that kind of
And
drives the sketchbook goal a little bit too, right? Like you can't just kind of print it out on your printer. It's got to be something that you can have made available.
yeah, the so that's like the side of it that I'm excited about. I really want people to be able to, hold the drawings in their hands and
Yeah.
look at it. And so I'm very excited about that. So,
Okay.
and then the last one of sort of my art, well, not the last one. I want to begin the planning stage. So just the planning, I'm not finishing anything or even really doing anything, but begin the planning stage for my first official storybook for Figure Eight. So my first like actual book, not just
Yeah.
a collection of sketches. This would be a story and a book, which
I
is
didn't realize a
quite
book
ambitious.
was what was coming. That sounds very ambitious.
Yeah. So I mean, that's something that could take me 2 or 3 years to do. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know the level that it would be at, but I just want to start thinking about it by the end of the year after I wrap up the zine and the sketchbook. Like that is, yeah, that's the goal. In fact, I opened up. I still use Trello for our little checklist before we start the podcast, and it had a list of like my life goals from I don't know 8 years ago or something, and one of them is write a book and illustrate it. And it's like
Cool.
all the same stuff that I keep trying to do right now. So anyway, that's what I got to start thinking about by the end of the year.
As a
Um,
a little bit of a side note, I was thinking about this too. I set up this thing, I've described it before, where I start a Pomodoro, little timer thing for 25 minutes, and then when it's over, it locks my computer screen. So, it's not like a buzzer that goes off where I can just choose to ignore it. Like it locks the screen and it shows how many Pomodoros I've completed for the day, and it shows how many I've completed for the year, which is kind of a cool thing to see, just build up over time. But and it
that is
also just
cool.
has like I wasn't thinking very hard about this. I just put it on there. Like it has the time and it has the week in the year. Like this is week 17, this is week 25 or whatever. And it just kind of makes me reflect on the fact that there's only 52 weeks in a year, which is it's just not that much. Like you can kind of bring your whole year down to 52 weeks, and it's like a simple number that you can hold in your head, but also like a week is a very kind of small feeling actionable thing. And so what I think might be nice to do, maybe we could do this next week on the podcast or whatever, but it would be nice to kind of take the goals for the year and then filter them down to the weeks that we have. We have 50 weeks left pretty much, or we will as of next week, right? So what has to happen in week 5 or by week 10? Like what does each week need to look like in order to actually accomplish those goals? Like the deadlift goal, I have 5 weeks left. I know what my programming is. I know exactly what I need to lift on which days in order to do that.
Yeah.
And like so far it's, I'm on track. It's working. Knock on wood. So you said something last week that I really liked, about kind of growing up a little bit or just being a little bit more serious about some of these things. And I really like that. This kind of stuck with me. I'm still not exactly sure what that means, and maybe that's something we'll continue to figure out. But I do think there is a certain element of childishness to fantasizing about goals, but then just having such an unserious approach to them where you just think, I'm going to do this big thing. I'm going to do it next year. But then anyone who was serious about a project, like they would, if you were running a business, you're like, okay, how do we get there? You kind of drill that down into, okay, what has to happen to do that? If you're building a house, you have to think, when does the concrete get poured? When does this stuff have to be done by? Like you think about the project very seriously. And I would just like to do more of that for me. And right now, as we talk about the goals, obviously trying to decide what you want to dedicate your time to and coming up with goals is super important. But I would kind of like to do that next step. I think we've been a bit lax on that in the past of, hey, what are the weeks going to look like if you really are going to publish a book, a sketchbook by the end of the year? How do you do that? Like, how do you know if you're on track or not? How do you know if you need to start like speeding up, cutting corners, whatever to make this happen? So
Right.
just putting that out there.
No, I agree with you agreeing with me. uh, what I meant by it's sort of time to grow up is it's like how many times am I gonna fall into the YouTube binging trap?
Yeah.
How many times am I gonna just scroll and blow my schedule? Uh, I'm cutting out drinking this year,
Mm-hmm.
pretty much 100%. I might have a little bit occasionally, but I'm pretty much cutting it out. Like I can't own it. It can't. Uh, I can't buy it. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, I'm pretty much cutting out drinking because there's just those, you know, maybe more than occasionally, but occasionally you have those mornings where you're like, is this worth it? Like,
Yeah.
why did I drink last night? And it just kind of ruins your morning and then it throws you off and then whatever. And there's just so many things like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, how old am I? Like, can we stop? Can we stop doing that and just actually work on the stuff that matters?
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to take more drastic measures of, okay, I'm going to get a second phone and social media is never going onto my main phone anymore. And, you know, no drinking for 2026. Like, what else is there? What
Mm-hmm.
else can I do to make more drastic changes? And part of it's just the scheduling is paying attention to those things and really breaking them down because there's like fear on every level of some
Mm-hmm.
of these tasks. Putting out a book. Well, that sounds wonderful as long as it stays in the planning stage.
Right.
Uh, but as soon as you start bringing it into, oh, I have to draw a lot of pictures, drawing is just scary on its own. It's scary every day to pick up the pencil and do a drawing that people might look at, and it's just, yeah. So you're right. I don't know.
Yeah. I I like both sides of that. One, trying to have a somewhat more realistic and serious approach about the things that we're working on, but then also being a little more decisive about the stupid stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, I need to confess to you that I browsed Reddit a few nights ago for the first time in like 3 months. It's about 20 minutes. I am ashamed and embarrassed. It was stupid. It made me hate myself. It was like 30 minutes at the most. 20 to 30 minutes.
Okay.
And
As long as you felt ashamed for
yeah,
30
well,
minutes at least.
the mistake, what I needed to do was tell you immediately. That was like the deal, is that if I do it, I tell you. And I didn't, so I'm telling you now in public, but I'm I am intending to like really double down on that. I have genuinely I really mean this. I am happier. I'm a happier person for having given it up. I have not missed it at all outside of like cravings for distraction. It's, if anyone is skeptical of those types of
No,
things being detrimental, you're crazy. That's all I can
no,
say.
no one is skeptical of that. We all know
Okay.
we would be happier if we didn't do these things. Like
I don't I had a
yeah,
conversation with
we all know.
somebody who was like, "Mike, you got to get on TikTok. It's really fun." And I'm like, I think social media is really bad for me. I don't want to start. And she's like, "No, it's great. You should do it. We can compare our feeds and stuff." So anyway, it's not everyone. I was evangelized on TikTok recently.
I mean, it really is a lot of fun. You should try it out.
Yeah, I hear it's
Um,
great.
I got to do at least one painting, exhibit in an art market. I might be giving myself too much stuff, but we'll see. Exhibit in an art market. Keep up with YouTube videos.
Can we talk about
So
what that means exactly?
I really don't know what it means. I because it's a struggle trying to find the right balance. For a while, I was doing like a YouTube video and then a drawing, YouTube video and a drawing. But
It
now
seemed
my
like it
needs
was
have kind of
working, right?
changed in that it was definitely working. But now it's got to move to make the zine, and then I'll probably make a video about that. I don't know. Like I don't know how to define that. And obviously I don't like the vagueness of just keep up with YouTube videos, but I'm not really sure how else to treat it because the needs change and I don't want my goals changing throughout the year. So I don't know.
Well, okay, let's I don't like the vagueness of that. So, but also I don't think that you necessarily know what the entire year is going to look like or what the right setup is going to be. So there is a downside into swearing the blood oath for some goal that's actually not that well thought out. We talked about this a long time ago about how it was even about New Year's resolutions, I think, about how so many goals are so stupid that the mistake,
Just too vague. Yeah.
or even specific, the I'm going to do 50 push-ups every day. Like, that's an idiotic goal for so many reasons. One, because doing 50 push-ups a
I just
day,
imagine I just
what?
imagine like a bunch of people listening to this just erasing that off of their pad.
Good,
Oh yeah,
erase
50,
it.
yeah,
That's a
that's
bad
stupid.
goal. Yes, if you're a 50 push-up person, you're wrong. For for two reasons. One, as soon as you mess up, one day, you're like, "Oh, I ruined the goal." So, it's the most fragile thing in the world because are you really going to do it every single day, even when you're hungover, even when you have a fever, even when you're traveling? No, you're not. So, you're going to mess it up and then you're just going to feel like a failure. Two, if you want to get strong, research how to get strong. Like if you're going to spend a lot of time, just actually do something that is beneficial, not just some dumb thing. But my point is that the goal is wrong. You set the goal and then you try to do it and you fail and then you think I'm a failure. I couldn't do my goal. I have no willpower. I have whatever. But like the problem isn't that you failed to execute. The problem is that you're dumb and you picked a bad goal. So really sorry if you actually did pick 50 push-ups. I feel like I'm being ridiculously harsh for like no
Anyway,
reason.
anyway,
But yeah, it's easy to mess up the goal. That's my point. So, if you're thinking, I want to keep up with YouTube, but I'm not sure exactly what that looks like, then let's kind of change that a little bit into, let's say by next week, you have to have some kind of concrete plan for the next month or the next 3 months or something for the short
well,
term that's going to work,
I,
and then we
I
can
don't.
change it.
Well, I mean, think about it. There's a couple different ways I could, figure this out. Right now, I have keep up with YouTube videos because I want YouTube videos next or this year. I want to put out YouTube videos. I could put a specific number, make 12 YouTube videos this year. But that's really kind of hard to gauge because I don't want to make them if they don't make sense. And I don't know. I mean, 12 sounds like a reasonable number, but
Right.
I
I
don't
agree.
know.
I
I can't
agree.
just, it's a hard one to do. I could say, like, do a new YouTube video every month and I could, stick to that probably, but maybe it would be better to do them more frequently than once a month. I don't know. Like and
But that's kind of my
I
point
have
is that it could morph. Like I think that
yeah.
well, you've done very well this year, so I will go ahead and say like I trust you to if you're okay with leaving it somewhat vague without any concrete number, then okay, like you've earned some credit here. So fine.
I'm not. Help. Help. I don't yeah.
My point here is that don't commit to a specific number for the year. Don't worry about the entire year at once. Your top level goal is to keep up with YouTube. It's vague, but fine. That's a good goal, right? So just let's say, okay, from that goal, there's going to be some kind of formula, some goal for the next, let's say, 3 months or 1 month, whatever you want. But just for the next chunk of time coming up, make it more concrete. You don't have to commit to the whole year or whatever. If you're like, I just want to make 2 videos in the next 3 months, great, fine. Concrete goal, you can execute on it. After 3 months, reevaluate, figure out what's going to work for you. But I really just don't like the fuzziness of it. Or if you're just thinking, I want to make N YouTube videos this year sometime, I guess. It just
Yeah, yeah.
feels like that's really conducive to some bad cycles where time goes by, you're not sure, you don't get it done, the perfectionism starts to kick in, it becomes a huge thing, right?
All right, let's hear another goal from you. Yes, you're correct. I gotta think more about that one.
Okay. 12 goals a year. So that is the end of my list for concrete goals.
Okay.
But I have kind of another category that
No.
is vague, but it kind of has to be vague. There's no other. I realize this is a weird segue from me ranting about this, but on the top of this list, as an example, is make decisions faster. And this is, call it more of a thematic goal, just something I've been observing about myself that I want to change. So
Mhm.
I don't, it's going to be hard to know that that's not like a 12 YouTube videos a year type of thing, but I do want to work on this. Can I
Yep.
tell you a story? Can I tell you what motivated this?
Yes.
This is going to be both really boring but also kind of embarrassing and personal.
Make it interesting. Figure out
I
a way
will
to make it
I will
interesting.
try. Last week I went to Muji. You ever been to Muji?
I have no idea what that is.
Okay, I love it. It's one of my favorites. It might be my favorite store. It is a Japanese clothing, home goods type of store. Think of it kind of like an IKEA, but smaller and even more simple and authentic. Like it represents the solar punk future that I've always wanted, which is just a bunch of products that are like they're nice, they're plain, they're advertised in like the super minimal, just here's what it is, here's a t-shirt, it's $15, it's nice, look at it, it's made of cotton. Like it's a wonderful store. Anyway, so I go to Muji last week. I long ago decided that I want all my socks to be the same. I hate having to pair socks. Like you have a sock and to find a matching sock. That's just insane to me. It's like a waste of my life. I hate it. So I'm like, okay, I threw out all of my socks. I went to this store. Years ago I went to this store and I like pulled the rack out and bought all of these socks. Like these are my socks now. They're nice, they're affordable, they're simple, whatever. So I've been using them for a long time. But it's been a while, so they've started to wear out. Like some of them have holes. And so I thought, okay, I need to go back to Muji. I need to buy some more socks to replace the ones that are wearing out. But they
Right.
don't make that style anymore. Like the color is different, the cut is a little bit different. And so I'm like, what do I do? My whole
Well,
plan had this assumption built in that they would just continue to manufacture this one sock. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to switch socks to something new, which means I have to pick out a
oh
new
no.
sock. I told you this was embarrassing and boring. So I'm like, I'm looking at their socks. I want to stick with their line of socks, but they have this like a new style and there's all these different colors. So I'm like, well, I have to choose a color to find a new size. And so I'm like, well, okay, fine. So I pick one, this like kind of light orangish color. I just bought one pair. This was last week, and I took it home. So like, okay, I can try it on because you can't try it on in the store. Like, make sure I like them before I commit my life to like the next 10 years wearing these socks. So I'm like, okay, I think I like them. I think they're gonna work. So I go back. I'm gonna buy more. But then they had like a more colors that they had before, and there was like an orange that I liked better. I'm like, well, I already bought the pale orange, but I want the darker orange. What do I do here? Should I have different colors? But then like I have to pair of socks again. And so I start like genuinely stressing about this. Like, I don't know what to do about my sock. Should I continue to just buy the pale orange and then just have a sock that I don't really like that much? Should I get the darker orange but now have this weird pair? And so I'm like walking around the store, like, what do I, and eventually I decided this is insane. I hate
Yes.
this. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like paralyzed about the socks. So I just like pulled out the rack of dark orange socks and bought them, but it's actually not that many because I didn't have that many left. So I'm about to go back and hopefully they have more. But whatever, that's the plan. So I got through the stressful thing. I don't quite have the sock solution figured out because I only have 5 pairs. and then I have this one pair of light orange. I might just throw it away. But that's where I'm at. And it just made me think like this kind of sucks. I I can't even buy socks without feeling
Yeah.
the stress of these little micro decisions. And to be clear, I'm abbreviating the story a lot. Like there was a lot more kind of debating and going on about it. And then I even started
Yeah.
thinking
So you,
about what does this say about me as a person. I thought about how I would talk about it on the podcast and having this actual conversation. It's like so many layers of self-analysis and insanity. It's too much. So my goal is to fix that this year.
yeah. So you have OCD. It's okay. And yeah, we
I
we both need to make decisions faster.
yeah.
Just buy the, just buy some, just
I
buy some socks. It's not that hard. It's it's not like, it's not a test of intelligence. I think, just next time have someone else buy your own buy your socks. Like, have someone else buy your wardrobe because you just can't handle it.
I'm telling you this
Ah,
because that's this is a problem that I'm trying to fix. I know I
yep.
sound like a moron. I know that the solution is simple, is to just like, dude, what's wrong with you? That's why I'm talking about it. I want to work on it.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Make decisions faster. Um,
And
oh,
I
go ahead.
I do think so what ultimately was the deciding factor was Marie Kondo's voice in my head just saying like, what is it that sparks joy? And I thought, fine, good enough. That will be my guiding light. I like this dark orange color. I'm going to buy that. And that's what I did. So I think that she really has something there in that when you can't, when there's just nothing, there's no guiding star. You need something. It doesn't matter if it's perfect or not. And I like that one. Just sparks joy. Fill that in however you want. But like it's a way to decide things. It's how you decide whether you're going to throw something out or keep it. Just does it spark joy? No? Toss it. It's
I'm gonna
exhausting
buy
for
you
me
some
too, okay?
socks for your
No,
birthday.
don't. It's too late. I already bought them. Then that will send me back into a spiral. Please don't.
Anyway, okay, let's move on past the socks. We're almost done here. Uh, I want to learn how to play one new song on piano. That just seemed like a fun little thing.
Cool.
So I'm gonna try to do that. Uh, I want to get, like, right now I have, I think, two a little over 2,000 followers on Instagram. I want to try to get to 10,000. How do I do that? I don't really know, but I'll just keep doing what I do and maybe I'll get to 10,000. I would like to have 50 patrons by the end of the year. Right now I think I have 5 or 6. I think 50 would be pretty cool by the end of the year.
Okay.
And that will just require me making Patreon posts. I set this number high, but I want to have 50,000 subscribers on YouTube by the end of the year. I know there's no mathematical way to achieve that, but I'm gonna give it a shot.
Well, there's very much a
So,
mathematical way to achieve it. That's not true.
okay. Well, I don't have it figured out. I'm just gonna keep posting, and hopefully, I get to that number. I think some people might be like, oh, you pay too much attention to numbers, or you care too much about subscriber count, or whatever. And I would tell them to uh, go away politely, because I think having goals like this helps me to actually kind of not pay attention to the numbers. If I set a goal of 50,000, then I kind of only need to pay attention to it when it hits 50,000. And then as soon as I hit that, then I just make another goal of 100,000. And then I just don't pay attention to the numbers until it hits 100,000, and on and on and on. And it helps me because if I don't have that goal, I have no way of gauging success or whatever. And so it's like every amount of new subscribers I get, I'm all obsessed about that. Am I doing good? Am I doing bad or whatever? And so anyway, that's my little rant about subscriber count.
You,
And
you,
I
you
always get pissed off at people who accuse me of caring too much about the numbers. And uh, anyway,
okay.
yeah, that's my rant.
Who do people accuse you of caring about the numbers too much? Is this a
Not
real
really. I just
criticism?
imagine them.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to make note of that.
Yeah. Uh,
All right, you've
I
made
actually don't
this.
know if anyone's ever accused.
I don't think anyone cares at all. You kind of argued this before though about how like paying attention to it, like you're always paying attention to it no matter what. So if you just kind of acknowledge it and put it out there, that can be better. I think I'm bought in. I think I get it. I like it. It's kind of like you're either you're hitting 50,000 or you're not. You don't have to obsess over 22,300. Like it's just a big number or not, whatever. That's what you're trying to get to. I would say that this is not a
Yeah.
goal because you can't you you know there's no like program you have to follow to get there. It's more like a hope. Like you want this
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
happen this year. So that's cool. I'm
It's a
fine with that.
it is a fun, like I have this huge document of goals for YouTube and Instagram and Patreon and all these different things. And it's like I had 2,000 subscribers, 5,000 subscribers, 10,000, 15, 20, whatever, and I just get to turn each one green as they happen.
Yeah.
And it's just a fun little satisfying thing. It's like the light, the light
Yeah,
year
that's great.
thing. And it's just fun. And it also, you can never feel accomplished 100%. Like there's always more to do. But it's also not overwhelming because you just kind of climb this thing and it's just fun.
I
And
like
it's
it.
like, oh, in what section? And if you haven't checked in a while, a month goes by or whatever, you look at your chart and it's like, oh, I've accomplished this and this and this. That's cool. And I don't know, whatever. Come at me,
Great.
bro. I don't care. Make fun of me for the numbers.
Again, with the
Uh,
made up getting made fun of.
well, I think it could just because you argued it sort of against, like just barely against it that one time, and
Well,
so now I'm on the defensive.
I'm
Whatever.
on the other side of the screen. That is in part my job. You gave me a lot of
Yeah,
crap for my sock story, even though it was very personal. And
just buy some goddamn socks.
do you
It's
understand
not
the
that.
point of what I'm trying to say there? It's just it's a parable. It's
Yeah.
illustrative
I,
of
I
a personal problem that I'm trying to work on.
I know, and I'm proud of you, and we'll keep working on that.
Okay.
I need to do the same thing. I'll spend the whole day wondering what the perfect thing to do is, you know, like, oh, thank God it's Saturday. I'll get so much done, and then I just spend the whole day trying to figure out
Right.
what to do. I'm not that
That's
different. Yeah,
that's my problem. I did at the end
I
of the
know.
day buy the socks. Like it is the paralysis. Um
Yeah,
okay, last goal for me. Oh, again, more of a thematic goal. I haven't turned this into concrete things just yet, but I want more slow time. I've done a pretty
S-
good job cutting out the YouTube and Reddit again with small relapse a few days ago, but by and large, done very well. So I feel better. Like I went to Powell's today, the bookstore, didn't take my phone. I just like chilled for a good while, 2 or 3 hours. And I kind of noticed that it was just much easier this time. I didn't feel nearly as much of that, like, oh, what if something's happening? I just didn't really have the same level of
Yeah.
anxiety. It was much more comfortable. But I also just, it occurred to me that I don't do that very often. I did it in preparation for today, really. So I just want more of that. It was interesting how slow time went by. I'm sitting there at a window just having the journal and kind of looking around. Like, man, I must have been here forever. No, I've been here for 15 minutes. It's not that long. And in
yeah.
a way, I I recall one of the characters in Catch 22. You ever read that?
No, I
Um,
never read that.
okay, there's this guy, and his whole philosophy is that he wants to be as bored as possible all the time because that's the way to live the longest. Like time goes by the slowest when you're bored. So if you're bored all the time, it's like your life is going to last a really long time. And he's being a little bit silly, but also I feel like he did have a point. And I'm not necessarily bored. I wouldn't quite frame it that way, but it's very easy to scroll and 2 hours have gone by and you feel terrible or whatever, but it's like time doesn't feel the same, and it's like that whole chunk of time is just missing from your brain. But for me, I'm sitting there doing nothing, just kind of observing the world and doing some writing and thinking, and it's like, oh, time kind of stretches out and it's nice. So I want more slow time. I'm not exactly sure what that's going to be in terms of habits and whatnot, but I want more slow time.
No, same for me. I started a couple weeks ago, maybe about a month ago. I really got serious about kind of shutting off YouTube and Instagram and all the
Mm-hmm.
social media stuff. And I think it took about 2 weeks before I kind of readjusted. But it you slip into a different time
Mm-hmm.
speed. It's true. And like yesterday, I sat down and just wrote like a story for probably over 4 hours, just without even getting up once. I just writing and writing and writing, which is not something I could have done a month ago because I would have tried writing for 10 minutes and then got up and done something or checked my phone or whatever. It's like, but, and I've been reading this little H.P. Lovecraft thing and, yeah, it's very nice. So
Yeah.
get your slow time and yeah. Okay. Anything else?
I think that's good enough for 1 year.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we have to schedule something to remind ourselves to check the time capsule and whatever. We'll figure that out.
I can set a reminder or something. You can do it. That
Okay.
can be for next year's episode. Uh, we can kind of start that way.
Okay. All right. Close us out in a super exciting, epic way.
That's too much pressure, but I'm glad we're still here. Seriously, we've been doing the podcast for how many years? A few.
Since 20, God, I guess like six, right? 5 or
It
6.
it's like a lot longer than it feels like, and we are still here, which that's pretty cool. We uh we
The
haven't died
viewers
yet.
may not be, but we are.
We got
Yeah.
some. We got some. All right. Uh well that's 2026 for us. Looking forward. We'll do looking back in a year, but if anybody else like has some thoughts or plans for 2026. I know some people shared some things on our Discord already about what they want to do for the year. I am a little bit behind on Discord, so I need to catch up on that, but that's awesome. So if you're into it, join us and set some goals, real ones that you're actually going to do. Um and yeah, we'll see where we get in a year. But good luck.